Matriarchs rising. Yeah. We're gonna get to reading these slides, showing how this matriarchal firmament is refuge, or showing how this firmament is matriarchal refuge. So we about to have a good time reading these slides. I did a live on IG, posting these slides and sharing this information, this matriarchal information. As soon as I closed my IG out, my IG was shut down. I couldn't log back in. So I need y'all to take this information serious. I need y'all to take my attempts serious. I'm putting myself out there for y'all. I need y'all to tell this information, spread this information. This is really like the only thing that matter. This should be going viral. And this is the only thing that matter right now. The firmament, y'all. It's reasons why we all know about the firmament, but we don't know about the firmament. You hear me? There's reasons we know about the firmament. We hear it, we know of it. We know what it is. But do we know what it is? Do we know what's beyond it? Or have we been given patriarchal lenses, patriarchal definitions of what it is? So we're about to have a good one. We're about to read these slides. I decoded the Nubian Moreau language, and the Nubia Moreau language revealed that the firmament is matriarchal refuge. That's what this is all about. It's about our Nubian ancestors. All through the Bible, that's what the Bible was talking about when they experiencing the gender wars, all the way from Genesis to Revelations. You can look it up yourself. This is about the lineage of the Candaces, the lineage of the Candaces, what they call the Candaces of Nubia. That's who this book, this Bible book, is all about warring against. Are African Candaces. And the Candaces, it tell you in the Bible, they ran the entire earth. They didn't just rule Africa. They didn't just rule Nubia. They was the queens of the entire earth. This is what the Bible call them. So I followed their lineage. I followed their trail. They only is mentioned one time in the Bible, and that one time is supposed to be a breadcrumb for us to follow that little trail to the whole loaf of bread. So we about to get into it. We about to have a real good time, enlightenment, and I'm gonna post this. So I'm gonna get started. I'm not gonna wait for too many people to come in. Let's go. The period around 70 AD marked the destruction of the Second Temple. Okay, now you can read this for what it is, and you can see the rebrand start to take place 70 AD with the rabbis, with the patriarchs. You see the goddess was erased. Her maps was erased. We didn't know that the black woman had maps. We know now. Now, and of course, women had maps. Why wouldn't they? Okay, we can see that it was a rewrite of their maps, of their history, of their lineage. This is the Nubians that we talking about, the Candaces, the queens of Tarseti, the queens of Nubia, the queens of Meroe, the queens of Kerma, Kush, Napata, Nakwata, 1, 2, and 3. These is those queens that we never hear about. We often hear advanced society or advanced civilization, but it's a period behind that. We don't know who the advanced societies was. We know that it's like some advanced framework out there on the earth, like Stonehenge, the pyramids, and a lot of other things that men say to this day they still can't build. Well, these was women, particularly black women, that built all these monuments, and they built it to show us who the grand architects is. They built this to show us who God is, who the source is. And they made all these maps. They made all these maps showing us that the firmament is matriarchal refuge, or what we call the firmament is matriarchal refuge, basically the ascensions of the earth. This is why the pinnacle and peak of religion is essential. Post 70 AD religious landscape, particularly Western Christianity, you see it. The Hebrew feminine noun for the Holy Spirit was translated to genderless or masculine. What? The Virgin Mary, the divine feminine, was replaced by a pure, powerless Virgin Mary. Mayat was replaced. Our African principles was replaced. Patriarchs replaced everything of our African queens. The Sophia wisdom tradition was largely suppressed, rebranded, removing the feminine aspect of the feminine from the mainstream theology. The restructuring aimed to create a lopsided patriarchal version of God that was easier to control, removing the innate personal power of the feminine. So we can see that the patriarchs rebranded and changed our maps. That's what this is all about, our maps. How our Nubian queens, our Nubian ancestors left maps to the firmament. I see you, Purple Haze. You just came in. I'm recording this for when I post it. And if you got any questions, I definitely that's what I'm here for. And yeah, like you missed a couple slides. But you ain't missed nothing too much. It's the build up. So I'm finna get to the build up. I'm showing how the firmament is matriarchal refuge. So this is real profound and profane symbolism that I'm showing. You only get this literary. You only get this literary that I'm showing if you decode the Nubian language. Nobody is taking the time to decode the Nubian language. I've asked so many people to help me, so many black women, I'm gonna call it for what it is. I have asked every black woman that's online that is a spiritual educator and a spiritual leader to help me with this language. Every black woman has turned me down to be seen and have the attention for themselves. I have been online for 3 years and every black woman has turned me down so they can have the attention and the spotlight for themselves. That's what I've experienced. That's my story. So I'm trying to get this information out on a grand scale. I ask people if they want to share their platform. Nobody say yes. You know what I'm saying? I'm real eloquent. I'm real precise. I'm real short. Ain't like I'm trying to just take the whole spotlight for myself. I don't even care about no spotlight for myself. I care about these Nubian women getting the spotlight. And the spotlight is heaven. Like, even if you put the spotlight on me, the women, whoever, I'm showing, the women is showing, they left trails to heaven on earth. So who care about who get a spotlight? I'm literally showing where heaven is on earth and how heaven is the firmament and how even the patriarchs called the firmament heaven. Anytime you see heaven mentioned in the Bible, you're going to see a slash next to it and it's going to say firmament. No, it's all good, man. I'm not, I don't feel no type of way. It's, personally, so to say, I feel some type of way for you, for the people, for the women that's genuinely trying to seek this information or seek matriarchal information. I'm straight because I'm gonna get my message and everything across. I feel so you saw I feel what you're saying, like, damn, I'm sorry that happened to you, but I'm more so trying to look out for y'all, because shit, they can't mislead me. And it's a rise of inquisitiveness going on. It's a rise of awakening going on right now. And people want information. They want something that's gonna feed their spirit and their soul, especially right now. The magnetism done rose, and that's quite naturally making us be inquisitive because we magnetic beings. And I've been talking to people for years now, and just to no avail. So now I gotta oust them. I done held them accountable one on one, and they still been carrying on these false narratives, these false teachings to promote a book. So I gotta put their ass on blast now. So we see this slide for what it is. Let's change it, and we gonna our way on up to this firmament. Before the patriarchs, Nut is rooted. Old kingdom. I think that's a theology exists 1,000 years before the rise of patriarchal Abrahamic traditions. The biblical patriarchal rewrite, the act of separation, Genesis 1. This is the separation story of the waters above from the waters below. This separation story is telling us that the waters above and the waters below is separated. So this is like a dead giveaway. This is they way of giving us a breadcrumb of it being a giveaway, because we got to know that the Bible is a continuation book from the Enuma Elish, and which is the separation book. It's the same thing. It's all about the gender wars. This why the Bible start off with Adam and Eve, and this why the Bible end with the woman and the dragon. This is why the Bible start off with Adam and Eve and end with, in Revelations, the woman and the dragon. Because these are separation parables. These are separation stories, separation justifications. This is how man, quote unquote, separated himself from the matriarchs and came west to build his 6 continents of men ruling. So while a lot of us is trying to get caught up and rebuild up on patriarchy, rebuild up on the earth, I've been talking to y'all matriarchs. I've been talking to y'all for a minute. And I've been sharing this information with y'all, and then y'all right back to pushing the narrative of rebuilding on earth. Who the hell trying to bust up this concrete? Who the hell trying to knock down these telephone lines when we could just ascend to heaven? When we could just go to the goddess temples? When we could just start a spiritual journey beyond the mountains? It's all the holy mountains. It's 5 holy mountains. All holy mountains is blocked off by military, because all holy mountains lead beyond the firmament. It's so many paths that lead to the firmament, and the Bible even talk about it when the Bible talk about the thin places and the high places. The Bible always talk about the thin places, but all the pastors overlook the thin places. Nobody know what's beyond Antarctica. Nobody know what's beyond our unascended mountains. I'm telling you, and I'm showing you, and the symbolism show you. This the literary. We ain't even scratched the surface, but we gonna get to it. Okay, we can see that the goddess was before, or the black woman, we're gonna call her for what she was before the Abrahamic religions. Let's change the slide. Let's go to the next. Divine anatomy. She was the protective. Okay. Abrahamic. Let's let y'all get that for what that is. She represents the feminine expanse. The firmament is called an expanse. And it's called an expanse because the land expands. This land that we walk on, it ascends and expands, ascends and expands, ascends and expands. We supposed to make it beyond these ascensions and these expansions. I got over 200,000 maps I'm going to show y'all. Over 200,000 maps showing the same thing. Ascension and expansion, an infinite earth left by women. Maps. That's what these patriarchs was trying to do. They was trying to hide the maps. Whenever they was doing the gender wars against the woman, it was to hide the maps left by the woman that lead to the firmament. Suppression of Azura, the Canaanite goddess Azura, queen of heaven, who was the consort. I can't read that because there's so much stuff. She was systematically erased out of the Old Testament, mandated by Yahweh. Extraterrestrial means earth that they are hiding from us. Yes, that's what that means as well on God. Extraterrestrial mean extra earth. Terrestrial mean earth, the ground we walk on. Extra mean extra earth. It don't mean nothing about an alien. It don't mean nothing about nothing superstitious. All that word literally mean is extra earth. All terrestrial mean is earth. You can see the rebrand. It's still hard for me to read these slides because how they got all these icons set up and badgers set up, but we're gonna get through it. Let me see if I can move these comments. We gonna get through it. I'm gonna set up a I'm in the midst of setting up a whole better channel, a whole better setup, so we can just sit and we can talk like this, like on a computer and whatnot, like how it's supposed to be done. Let me see. Can y'all read that? In essence of the shift from a world where the divine mother was the sky itself to a world where the feminine, her feminine landscape was hidden, y'all. Her feminine landscape was hidden, y'all. Tara, that word Tara, that's what we was just talking about. Purple haze. That's the same word. When we were saying terrestrial, terrain, terra, before it was called terrestrial, before it was called terrain, it was called terra. And terra represents a goddess, a woman, of course, because the earth represents a woman. So when we saying terra, we still saying terrain. Terra often associated with the star or hill of kings. Oh, I can't read because they got all this stuff in the way. Good Lord, ascended high terrain. All that means something. We supposed to make it to the ascensions, the high terrains of the earth. And this is all about revelations. The the lifting of the veil reveals that the divine structure protecting humanity is and always has been the merciful woman, the matriarchal firmament shielding the earth. So when it's talking like this, it's still talking in parable of the woman's lineage. When it say the merciful woman, what it mean technically, and what the literary will show you, what I'll show you that it say, is that it's speaking of the woman's lineage. Whenever we see Nut in that arch position, that's because we supposed to follow that arch position, and that arch that being represented as a woman, that's representing that woman's lineage. This is all about the woman's lineage leading beyond the sky, leading beyond the stars. As above, so below. There's matriarchs above, there's patriarchs below. As above, so below. There is matriarchs above, and there is patriarchs below. Men rule below, women rule above. That's the true context of that parable. So I'm letting y'all read the slides for what they is and getting this literary because it's kind of hard for me to read the slides. What I'm gonna have to do is just make a video and read these slides and then just give y'all the breakdown in my videos. So you're gonna see longer videos here posted to my YouTube. So put that notification on. Definitely hit your subscribe button. I would love to get to 1,000 subscribers so I could advertise and promote this message, y'all. So this is about us collectively coming together. I can't do this by myself. I've been trying to reach out to nothing but black women, but they just want the mic and attention for their damn self. I have never seen such vainness. I should be disgusted, but I am a pro-black advocate of black women. I would never think that that's all black women, and I would never stop doing what I'm doing. I would never, say that that's all black women. I'm only talking about my 3-year experience. Y'all ain't never seen me go live with nobody. Y'all ain't never seen me do a video with nobody, but yeah, I've asked everybody. It's sad. Black woman, what is up? You need that much attention for yourself? Somebody ought to hold y'all accountable. I'm sorry. This is for black women. It's for all women. Don't get it twisted because we all one color. We all one race. However, this is for black women to take this and do something with this. Nothing that like what else could trump this? What else matter for real? Your book? Like for real, what else matter for real? The final veil to be lifted is that heaven and earth has always been one. The firmament and earth is one. We just distracted with work and can't go look and search and quest and seek and find. This restoration and unification parable is the last parable in the Bible. It's the last story in the Bible, and it's highly overlooked. And in this Revelation story, it talk about how the people of the earth will find out that heaven and earth has been one all along. This unveiling reveals that the firmament, the vast expanse mentioned in Genesis, has always been the doorway to the divine realm, hidden in plain sight as a literal, physical, and spiritual landscape. And this is what the goddesses show in the goddess temples. They show the firmament and they show plush lands. This is what the literary say. It's not my interpretation. The literary say that the goddess temples is made to show the firmament, what's on the firmament. That's the only reason the goddess temples was made, to show you what's on the firmament. The divine firmament as refuge. The firmament represents a matriarchal landscape, a spiritual and physical sanctuary providing refuge from patriarchal systems. This understanding, the unknown, refers to a hidden magnetic land. The iron in the sky. Come on, people. The iron in the sky is in the Bible. So they give you all these breadcrumbs. They give you all these leads right in the Bible. And Revelations, when we find out that the firmament and earth is one, and when we find out that the creator is a woman, it literally say that we will live forever. We won't have no pain, no sorrow, no grief, no nothing. It say this in the Bible. These is not my interpretations. It talk about everlasting life in the last chapter of the Bible. And in this parable, the main thing to catch is that heaven comes down to earth. That's the main thing to catch in that story, that parable in Revelations. Heaven ain't no far out distant place like the patriarch colonizers taught us. If you was gonna make a slave, if you gonna make a slave, you don't tell them the true cartography of the earth. You hear me? If you gonna make a slave, you definitely tell them that they way out their refuge is some far out distant place that they gotta die to go to. Our matriarchs never told us that we had to die to experience matriarchy. Matriarchy was always considered heaven because matriarchs make heaven on earth, even balance for all, free energy for all, magnetics, free energy for all. Women rule with magnetics. In the Bible, when it say knock down her Azarel pole, in the Bible, when it say knock down her Azarel pole, it's talking about superconductors. Women rule with magnetics. When it's talking about the New Jerusalem, what New Jerusalem really truly mean, and the 144,000 really truly mean is the 144,000 patriarchal men that's gonna stay here and keep patriarchy alive in this new heaven, new earth. In this new heaven, new earth. We are finna experience this, like, if not today, tomorrow. This is going on right here, right now. This is why our DNA is activating. This is why women is waking up at alarming rate. This is what's happening on earth. This is why they came with coronavirus, to vaccinate the information, the greatness out of your DNA. This is why they came with 5G. So you can't be magnetic. So you can't go on your spiritual journey. So you can't ascend. So I want to get back to Revelations. We don't experience this ascension. We don't experience this ascension without being magnetic. 144,000 is the harmonics of the speed of light for women. No, wrong. I just told you what 144,000 is. I'm sorry to say it like that. I know we got our interpretations and our beliefs, but we got to understand the patriarch is waiting on us to give us interpretations and beliefs. The 144,000 is the 144,000 cemeteries. The 144. I don't have to look it up. I already heard that before. I know this. I'm a scholar, as you can tell. As you can see, I am a scholar. I know this already. what you just said, I heard of that already. I believed that once 10 years ago. That's not what that means. I'm not saying 144,000. Well, you said 144 is the harmonic of the speed of. Okay, I get that, but I'm talking about the 144,000. So how is that relevant? That's what I mean. Like people be needing some type of attention, accolade, acknowledgement for, and that's taken away. I get it though. You trying to build, so I'm not trying to come down. I'm trying to stick to the message and the script. And people be wanting to insert what they know, like I'm not saying you do need attention. I'm saying, can it be prevalent? Can it be relevant? Respectfully. And I'm only saying that because of what I've been experiencing. I don't know you, nothing directed at you. It's nothing but love. I swear to God. It's nothing but love. I want you to get the message. And I want you to get the correct message. I'm talking about the 144,000. So I'm not talking about the 144 harmonic sound frequencies. I'm talking about the 144. But I get what you're saying because that's still like somebody could be in the chat and that could be vital information for them. So I get it. So that 144, I get it because it's like all of our good been turned into bad. So it's still worth saying. That 144 is still worth saying. So let me say that to you. Okay? I am with the Matriarch. I just came for your live magnetic force. I know you with it. I know you with it. I know you well. If you heard me in my last when I was just on TikTok, you heard me say that it's a huge problem within the matriarchal community, the conscious community, with people putting out misinformation and so on and so forth. So I'm on that. My guard, I'm up. I'm on that. When you said 144, it sounded like you was commenting on the 144,000. So being that you correct and said I'm no, I'm only talking. Okay, we on the same name. We on the same frequency. Y'all gotta excuse me because I have been experiencing things that you would not believe with trying to get this information to black women. It's like they like, I want to be seen and heard myself. 144,000, which is nine. Yep, that's also right. The one, the four, and the four make nine. It's the feminine. So that's truly what that mean because that nine go back to zero, the infinite. That 144 is really a nine, the feminine. So it's a lot of parables for it, but I just want to stick to the script and get a correct information because it seemed like I got to be the gate guard of this. It seemed like I got to be the one holding people. And I never wanted this. I never wanted this. I was trying to get this information to a black woman and fall back so I can cut niggas' heads off when they come for the queen. I've been trying my best to just get this information to a black woman and fall back, but they don't want to. They like shit. What is it doing for me? That's not giving me attention. That's not coddling me. That's not, and I hate to make it personal like this because this is supposed to be a beautiful message and a beautiful spiel. But I need black women to hear this, and I need y'all to hold other black women accountable, and I need to hold y'all accountable too because it's been 3 years and I've been nice and kind. I haven't said nothing. I've been had this information since last year. I waited. I collectively waited to see what I was experiencing. Like, okay, I didn't just jump to a conclusion, basically. Obviously, if I'm just now saying this and I had this information since last year. So I need y'all to get this intel for what it is. Matriarchal refuge. Study this. Don't just take my word for it. This perspective interprets the Hebrew Bible, the Tanakh. Remember the Tanakh? Remember that? We ain't heard of that book in a while. As containing a lost map of the world, where the ends of the earth or the windows of heaven refer to physical portals leading to hidden lands located outside our known continental boundaries. So they put this in our books. They put this in all type of holy books. It's right in our face, but they put it as allegories and parables of gender war stories. Maybe because women have been silenced for so long, we are starting to trust in self, but it'll all work out. See, the thing is, when you educating, because I'm only talking about educators, of course. The thing is, when you educating, you gotta have references. That part. So women can feel whatever type of way they want to feel internally, but that's supposed to remain internally. When you step outside of internally and you begin to teach people and educate people, because it's a rise of awareness, it's a rise of awakening going on. It's almost like you're trying to capitalize and manipulate off that. Make that internally, like what you said. Make that internally, but don't come trying to teach people if you ain't got no references or resources. If I could simply ask you what matriarch said that and you can't tell me, something is wrong. Something is wrong. It's countless matriarchs on the continent of Africa, India, England, all over. It was countless matriarchs, but we only know about Cleopatra, Nefertiti, basically the patriarchs, matriarchs. These was patriarchs. Cleopatra represented the patriarch. Nefertiti, Nike, Aphrodite. This is all patriarch. That's not cool to be trying to teach people that these rebranded of black women, these rebranded goddesses, go to the African continent. It's what I've been saying for years, but they still won't do it. So if you're gonna educate, you gotta educate right. You can't be misleading people. I don't like that. I don't like that. And I've been jumping in people inbox and on their personal phone personally before I even get in the comments saying something. I personally give them the ground of respect for years. I've never once jumped in nobody's inbox. Personal phone calls, held people accountable, and they took that accountability. They said, "You right. I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to the drawing board and study." But they couldn't stay away from social media. They had to keep posting and stay in the algorithm, stay prevalent. You know what it is. So they kept pushing the same narrative because they couldn't take the time off to study because the computer is calling them. I got the post. That attention is calling. That attention. That attention. I got the post. You got the tenant? Okay, well, they talk about the map. They talk about the hidden map. A lot of books talk about the hidden map, but it's more than just the books. It's the symbolism. It's the every damn thing, y'all. This symbolism is all around us, everywhere. This female-centered magnetic energy led to a hidden error now being unveiled through the Kadaki link. Remember I told you the Kadakis? This is what the Bible is all about, y'all. The lineage of the Kadakis. In Acts 8:26, the black man is selling out the black woman and giving Rome the keys to magnetics, the keys to the universe, the keys to the maps, the keys to everything. The black man sold out the black woman. The Cushite Phoenician men got in bed with the Romans and created Roman Egypt to war against our Nubian queens because our Nubian queens ran the entire earth. And in order for a man to be anointed or appointed king, he had to first go through the queen, the black woman. And men did not no longer want to do that. They didn't want to go through the black woman to be anointed or appointed king. So what they did was they joined allegiance and alliance with the Romans, and they started warring against the black woman to erase her and her prolific ass history. This why the timeline is started in 31 BC and counted backwards, counted down. They was estimating how long it would take to erase the history of black women. Black women has always been all over the earth. Black women existed well before patriarchy. And this is why we in the year 2000 something, because it's only been 2000 years of men ruling. And technically not even that because they added 1,000 years to the timeline. But that's another story. So we got to understand everything in our reality is given to us as an understanding already. They set to teach us for a reason. They didn't want us to get our matriarchal teachings. And then by the time we was to attain our matriarchal teachings, it would be so fucking foreign to us that it would be unbelievable. I don't believe that. You gotta die to go to heaven. You know what's crazy is to believe anything that these. What's crazy is that we know that our spirituality come from the colonizer. What's crazy is we know that the people that told us you gotta die to go to heaven come from the colonizer. It only come from patriarchy. So I know y'all done read this. I ain't gonna keep rambling and gambling. Let's change it. We gonna go to the next slide once I get these, and then I'm gonna show y'all some more slides. These the ones I just showed on TikTok. I'm gonna show these again. I don't know if y'all could see them for what they was on TikTok. I know I could. And then we gonna go into something else. I moved to Africa 4 years ago. Say that then. But everything they say started in Africa, started in America first. Nah, that's that fake narrative that they trying to push so you don't get affiliated with Nubia, Taseti, Kemet, Kush. To say America came first is to say America came before Nubia. And I don't even think you believe that. I don't even think when I put it to you like that, I do not think that you believe that New America came before Nubia. America didn't come before the Nile Valley. America didn't come before Taseti. Our matriarchs, our matriarchs said that Taseti was the first civilization. So if you come into this live, if you come on this page, don't come stating statements that's patriarchal. If you come on this live, if you come on this page, don't come stating patriarchal information. Because we not having that. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. For you to say what you just said is what they want you to believe. So they could say that the patriarchs basically came first. If they can trick you to believe that America came before Africa, then they can erase your grandmothers away. They can erase Nubia, Taseti, Kemet, them first civilizations up there at that top line. So please don't come in here stating statements. What you say? I do, but we can. Yeah, I mean, you can only disagree because of ego, because you can't support your disagreement with fact. I can support mine with fact. You hear me? And supporting facts. And this is what I'm doing right now. You can't tell me America was before this right here. Mother Africa. That's right. That's the oldest continent. So that's what the colonizer wants you to believe so he can erase your lineage. So he can erase the Nubian foremothers. Tell you America came first. Wipe Nubia out. What about Naquita? You ever heard of Naquita? If you never heard of Naquita, if you never heard of Napata, if you never heard of Taseti, how can you make your mind up to conclude that America came first? How can you come here in this live and make that statement when you seeing the teaching that's going on? How is that even relevant? To say America came first is almost to go against what's being showed right now. How is that even prevalent? Can you answer me that? You said that to say what? You said America came first for what? To take away from our grandmothers that I'm showing you, to take away from the black women? America is the true old world values 1 and 2. When rocks cry out of Horace Grant. Don't come in here with that patriarchal. That's not a matriarchal reference. We is all matriarchal on this. You see this? This is all matriarchal. Don't come here with that patriarchal bullshit. I am on that. I'm sick of it. Don't come here trying to learn or don't come here trying to teach. Come here trying to learn. Because I promise what I'm showing, you don't know. Who write that? Who write what? This matriarchal literary that I'm showing? Who write what? The matriarchs, the Nubian language, the ship. When we look in the goddess temples, we see the spiritually enlightened on ships. So this is what it's talking about when it's talking about the ship. And you could read how the patriarchs later distorted our understanding of them ships. When we see them people on ships in the goddess temple, you see what that's saying. It's saying that these people is selling the firmament. selling the firmament. Sound crazy, but we got to remember that the Bible start off with the waters above separated from the waters below. Why is it starting off with waters for? Is my point. When we look in the goddess temples, we can, and I'm gonna show you these pictures. I just showed you these pictures. When you saw them pictures with the people selling on the boats, that was them selling the firmament while alive. No, what the sister posted. Who wrote that? No, what the sister. I don't. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Who wrote that book? Horace Butler plus some other sources, books, wise of. Get that out of here. And I hate to sound like this. I hate to be like this, but I have to. I have to. Because I don't know what's going on with people. Every 90% of people is educators and don't know shit. Everybody want to be an educator. Everybody want to be an educator. Educate the right thing, please. Because I'm sick of it. The map, a magnetic compass pointing the way to the refuge of matriarchy. So at the end of the day, all this symbolism and all this literary come from the continent of Africa, not America. You hear me? Okay. All these goddess temples, all this goddess magnetic symbolism come from the continent of Africa. So hell yeah, I'm gonna tell your ass America came first. So you don't get re-identified and re-familiar with this. Please don't come in here talking nothing patriarchal as a fact. Come in here asking something, maybe. Come in here trying to get some clarity, maybe. But to state something as a fact is undermining of what I'm showing. America did not come first by far. America is the newest of the continents. It's the latest. What the hell? America is the youngest of the continents. How could you not know that? You could carbon date the soil in Africa and carbon date the soil in America and simply get that. We know this for a fact that this is the motherland. Okay, let me change this slide. This is all about gender wars, y'all. Patriarchy versus matriarchy. I don't show nothing but receipts. I regurgitate these receipts, but ain't nothing my opinion or nothing my interpretation. I can't say that enough. You see, it's a historic record, and when it's talking, it's gonna always give you the names of the matriarchs that it's talking about, that is telling you this information. Taseti, Nubia, Kerma. It's gonna reference. That's what I love about this Nubian Moreau language. It's gonna always reference for you. You let y'all read that. Now we can get into how the firmament is a mitochondrial DNA shield. We can get to the goddess temples. We can get to so many different things. We can get to so many different things. What y'all want to get into? What y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to get into gender wars? Y'all want to get into matriarchy versus patriarchy? Y'all want to get into the firmament some more? Y'all want to show how this firmament is landscape, matriarchal landscape? Y'all want to keep going with that? Because I got literary for days, for months, for miles. I've been collecting this literary. I've been collecting this literary since last year. I wasn't gonna learn something and just run teach it, run tell it. Oh, God. I had to learn it myself. I had to manifest it. I had to digest it. I had to get it in my system, get eloquent with it. I've been learned this since last year, y'all. I noticed I can speak it eloquently now. So I waited to present myself and to present this information so I could be able to know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about it. And I've been trying to team up with matriarchs. Every black woman that's online that's spiritual, every black woman that's online that's spiritual. I don't care who you name. Queen Afeni, Queen this, goddess. I don't care who you name. I've been online for 3 years, and I've been trying to team with them so we can crack this Moreau language to show this literary right here. And everybody just want to be seen for themselves. All right, let's change the slide. You see the gender wars going on. You see what they talking about. Let me see. Now, I don't know what type of time YouTube gonna be on. I don't know if they're gonna shut me down. I don't know if they're gonna censor me. I don't know what the hell, because I just started putting this information out like 2, 3 days ago. And when I got live off Instagram last night, they shut my Instagram down. I cannot log back into Instagram. So I know it's people that was on Instagram I was feeding this to in the live. We went live for 7 hours showing these slides and showing this literary. Everybody that was in the live was in the live the entire time for 7 hours from start to finish. So they got this intel, they got this literary, and then I disappeared on people because they shut my page down. And they shut my page down for a reason. So I need y'all to read this. I need y'all to screenshot this. I need y'all to put it on y'all page. I need y'all to share, send it to your mom. I need you to study it. I need you to study it. How about that? All right, what we finna get into? Let's get into. You see it. You see it. Still in the firmament. That's what life is all about. Nothing else. You see it. Still in the firmament while still alive. You see it. Highlighted. They meeting the goddess. That's a beautiful picture. That's one of my favorite pictures. I love that picture. Let you know it's hope, and let you know somebody out there for you. Whenever we see the aurora borealis, that's female consciousness. That's extended beyond the firmament. That's a beacon. That female consciousness is a beacon. That aurora borealis, that's female consciousness, and that's a beacon. It serves as a signal. We supposed to follow that aurora borealis back home. Look at the goddess waiting for us in the centers of the earth. What you say? Purple haze say are the waters the amniotic fluid, because when the continents were one, they were like a China womb. Yeah, I love that. That's so dope because we finna get to the amniotic fluids and all that whatnot. We finna get in there right now. That's so dope. All right, let's go. Let y'all read that for what that is. Cause damn, it's hard for me to read. Within the sacred enclosure of the temple of the Dira, the ceiling unfolds a vibrant testament to a living universe. This celestial map, often called the Dendera Zodiac, is not a static calculation, but a radiant wheel spiritual energy where time flow as organic sequence. The Sky Mother's radiant pulse, the vast nut ceiling, serves as the foundation of the cosmic vision. She arches across the firmament, her body a star-studded expanse, the land expanse that swallow the sun each dawn. In this matriarchal worldview, the universe is a perpetual cycle of renewal, where the celestial mother provides the rhythm for all existence. So what that's saying is life beyond the firmament. That's what that's saying. They say there's whole rivers of oil and of inner earth. I could believe that too. I could believe that. You know, original astrological system. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's keep reading. Unlike modern charts, this map depicts constellations as a procession of living beings, We let the patriarchs, you see how that's underlined? We let the patriarchs tell us that you had to die to go to these places, this heaven, this refuge, what they call a celestial realm, what they call a divine realm. They got so many names for it in their religious books. They identify and they talk about it in their religious books. They call it the celestial realm and the divine realm. And that used to always bother me. Like, damn, that means there's other realms out here. What the hell is they saying? But if you don't know about matriarchy, and if you don't know about the goddess temples, and if you don't know about the queens of Meroe and Nubia, you got to put together this puzzle called life. Life is a puzzle. And we put all the pieces together, it all makes simple sense. They kept us from magnetics in school for a reason. We was in science class. They ain't teach us nothing about magnetics. And that's for a reason, because magnetics causes ascension. And you have to ascend to go to these places, or to go to this place. But I definitely wanted to highlight that got living beings highlighted for a reason. The patriarchs came along and saw this symbolism and put a death sticker on it and said these people was dead. Those people can only go to that place if they die. No, get the hell out of here. The now in the stars, the zodiac signs are uniquely adapted. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, pulse. Okay, we're gonna get to the good stuff. Resurrection, divine spark. Let's start here. Um, Now I definitely can't read nothing because I don't even see how I can move my comments. I can't even move my comments down. So y'all got to see that and read that for what that is. I'm finna set up a better setup to where I'm at the computer and the mouse and I could click on the screens. So just give me a little moment, give me a little second, and I'm gonna have that set up for y'all. I already got the computer and the setup. I just gotta take the time to go set everything up and do it. But I am. There was no forced labor or mandated occupations because these women was advanced societies that utilize advanced vibrational tools to handle heavy construction and agricultural abundance. Human construction and agricultural abundance. What that say? Human time was liberated. That's what that say. Human time was liberated. Imagine that. Imagine that. Work was redefined as sacred service or creative expression. A citizen might spend their days studying the stars, crafting intricate jewelry, or tending to the temple gardens, not as a job, but as their unique contribution to the collective harmony. Whereas now we just so conformed. You got to go to work to live. But these women never had work. They never had occupation. They never had money, banks, none of that. This is what you call a heaven on earth. Matriarchs make heaven. Okay. I'm evil. Man. Oh man, why is that like that? You can see dry lands onto the firmament. You can see that much. I gotta change this side, y'all. There. I hate that they got it showing like that. Let me see. Is this one gonna be like that? Um, Now the firmament was also called the field of reeds and the Segma Tawe. This is matriarchal references, the Sema Tawe. So this field of reeds and this Sema Tawe is explained in matriarchal literary to be a lush paradise, to be lush lands, but you have to sail the rising waters of the earth to get there. And that's what this is all about. Us following the rising waters or the rising land of the earth. The very grounds that we walk on rise and ascend to the sky. The mountains ascend to the sky, to these celestial cities where you can meet the queen. Okay, let's get into some juicy stuff. Y'all ready to get into some juicy stuff? Let's see what this say before we do that. Okay, here we go. To understand what that say, the mitochondria. To understand the mitochondria, DNA lineage through the lens of Tasseti and Comet, matriarchy is to view the sky not as a void, but as a living biological map. Now, this word biological is in here for a reason, because this is about the biology of the woman leading beyond the stars. In this cosmology, the firmament is not a wall of exclusion, but a living membrane, the skin of the great mother designed to gestate and protect the divine spark from external interference because of the wars against Rome. Here the breakdown of this biological expanse. Now we getting jazzical. Now we getting somewhere. Now we finna get into how the firmament and Antarctica 360 ice wall is a mitochondria DNA shield. Sound crazy, I know. Sound deep, I know. It sound even crazier to believe our definitions from the patriarchs. How about that? They say there's whole rivers of oil. Okay, I read that. Okay, nobody in the comments? Nobody got nothing to say? I see y'all in here. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Okay, where was I just at? Damn, I forgot where I was just at. I don't want to lose where I'm at. That ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't that. Arguments. That ain't it. Got to be somewhere up here. One second, y'all. I was trying to stay in sequence. Okay, that's the one I had clicked on. It's so hard to stay in sequence. I can't wait to get on the computer. Oh man, what's going on now? We struggling, y'all. Y'all gotta bear with me. I'm struggling. I'm trying to see the slides that I'm changing, and yeah, it's not that easy. It is not that easy. Click on that. Okay, I think we was right here, maybe. Yeah, we right here, and then we going this way. All right, we was just on 1 and 2. Now we going to 3 and 4. We gonna go on down. Okay, my bad, y'all. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay. Say listening. Okay. Original astrology system. Okay. Number 2. What that say up there? The golden firmament as a biological shield. Oh my God. While patriarchal narratives frame the firmament as a cage or a limit. That's bullshit. I hate that. The ancient Kushite and Taseti wisdom views it as the zona pellucida of the earth, the protective outer layer of an egg. This golden firmament was willed into existence by the matriarchs to shield their progeny from the invasive energies of patriarchal conquest. Stop playing with me, man. Creating a sanctuary where the matriarchal DNA could remain dormant but intact until the time of awakening. And it's that time of awakening right now, y'all. The magnetism of the earth done rose. And it been rose since 2020. It been rose since what they call this Aquarius age. That's why they came hitting us with this 5G and everything like that. They don't want us to attend our spiritual journey. Now this right here, splitting the fish, the biological division, this is a metaphor, a parable that I was asking about, because you see all these prophets splitting the fish. You see Marduk all the way to Jesus splitting the fish. And this is a parable. This is allegory of the woman's lineage, the biological lineage of the woman beyond the firmament as well. I wish that I could read this, but I cannot read this. The way that's worded reminds me of a quarantine. Yeah, I know, right? It kind of do put you in the mindset of a quarantine. That's what we've been in. We've been in this dome. We've been in this dome with these patriarchal ass men, with these frequencies, this polluted air. You know what I'm saying? That what we think of wind as wind and the sun is sun. Like, we gotta understand, we in a dome. And I could see why they could weather manipulate and modificate and all that type of stuff, because we are literally inside a dome. And we literally supposed to make it outside that motherfucker. Aquarius, the woman carrying the water, up the water, the water, the water, the water, the water. That's what I just showed you in the goddess temple, right? The water, the water, rising waters, right? Okay. I just showed you the waters, right? Okay. Kind of like the patriarch virus is being quarantined off. I love that. I love that. And the patriarchal virus is our perception of reality. And the patriarchal virus is our perception of reality. Because we got to understand, these patriarchs gave us our perceptions of reality. The woman and the dragon. Now, this parable is in the Bible. This is Genesis. I'm not sorry, Genesis. This is Revelations, the last story of Revelations. So this is what Revelations is talking about all through. It's talking about the woman and the dragon. The dragon trying to kill the lineage of the woman. Basically, the patriarch trying to kill the lineage of the woman. The woman who flees to a safe place is the personification of the mitochondria DNA. Stop playing, man, in bold print letters. While the patriarchal line often focuses on the external conquest, the dragon, the matriarchal line is the hidden treasure that retreats into the wilderness of the cellular structure. This wilderness is the internal space within the seeker where the original blueprints of the Meroitic Queens, the Meroitic Queens, remember I was just telling y'all this? That book, that chapter is all about our Nubian queens, are stored away from the prying eyes of those who seek to categorize and control. This is about our Meroitic queens, our Nubian Meroic queens. Remember I was telling you the Meroitic language, the Meroitic script? When you decode the Meroitic script, you can ask that thing anything you want in any context. It was a futuristic language that was supposed to be for our future language, to be able to decode our future language. That's how advanced these women was. This is a simplistic yet futuristic language. It's very simplistic. And I'll give you a key. You use the 42 laws of Mayat, the symbols of the 42 laws of Mayat, to decode it. Not all the way decoded, because this is a vibration language we talking about. However, you can use the 42 laws, the characters of the 42 laws of Mayat, to compare and contrast with the Nubian script, and it can help you decipher and decode. However, all you have to do is ask what you trying to ask in reference according to the Nile Valley and the other matriarchs, the Meroitic script, the Nubian language. Whatever you want to know, ask according to the Meroitic script. That's how advanced it was. Yep, with her child she flees. Yep. So this is all about, these is parables of the woman's DNA. These is DNA allegory parables. The Bible is a DNA book. What number is this? That's numbers 4 and 5. Let's go to 6 and 7. It should go all the way up to 20, maybe. Damn. I'm already at the bottom. Racial reflect alignment. Okay, why didn't see that? 5. Think we. I don't think we here, but we could read this too. I think we supposed to go to 5 and 6, but I'm gonna let y'all get this too. It's like maybe I missed this, and y'all gotta get this. Y'all gotta get these allegories and these parables. It was my every intention to break down the allegories and the parables, and we just getting started. We ain't really, this ain't nothing. It's still so much to uncover. That's all correlating. But at the end of the day, we really then just here for education purposes to know this stuff. Because at the end of the day, we know the way out. We know the way out. We could see why it's the end of patriarchy. We can see why it's which is the end of men ruling. They keep trying to, correlate that with the end of the world. But the end of the world, that just mean the end of patriarchy. That just mean the end of men ruling. So we can see why these wars is going on, this panic is going on, this one bank world system is going on, trying to lock everybody down. They did the same shit 100 years ago when the people of the earth was waking up. They did the same shit 100 years ago. They had the Spanish flu. They came with the vaccines. They had the Great Depression. You hear me? They had the Great Depression from like 1921 to 1935. From like 1921 to 1935, they had the Great Depression going on for a real long time. And that's the same year as our pandemic came, 2020, to all the way present. So it's like history repeating itself. They keep trying to vaccinate the information, the memory out of us. They don't want us to remember. I have always remembered. I have always seeked. They let the wrong one slip through the door. All right, that was like 5, 4, and 5. What we had left off, I believe. We still in the parables. Okay, I think we seen this. That was 5 and 6. Okay, let's go to 6 and 7. Okay, I think that was maybe it. Just them by. And then, I don't know why that's showing like that, but it's all good. Fish bound, solar complexes for the waters. I can't read that at the top. The womb of Moreau. The sacred womb of Moreau. It's DNA activation time. It's remember time. What you say? DNA activation. We remember. Yeah. Facts. Patriarchy is done. They losing control. Yeah, they losing control. They don't know what to do right now. Because they know the people of the earth is waking up. They can't kill us all. They just tried to. Go take this death shot. Go take this vaccine. You see, everybody who took that vaccine died. You see, my very first post to Instagram, I only made an Instagram for y'all. I swear to God. My very first post to Instagram, I'm literally asking y'all, begging y'all, please, y'all. Yo, they finna come with a vaccine. Don't go take it. Please, because it's going to kill us. I was saying that 5G was going to kill us. I already knew that they was finna try to kill us all because I've been knowing this information. I've been woke for a minute. I just been waiting on y'all to wake up to share it with y'all. I've been knew about the goddess temples. I've been knew about Antarctica way back in 2016, 17. I've been sharing this. You know how long that is to wait for somebody to wake up? This is a collective thing. I wish I could do this by myself, but this is a collective effort. I would have been left. I didn't want to catch that damn COVID. I didn't want to be in 5G. I was trying to leave before 2020. I was going to City Hall in my city of Gary, Indiana. I was telling the mayor, I was telling the assistant mayor, anybody listen, yo, we finna die. They finna unrelease 5G, and that's a unharmonic frequency. Our bodies vibrate to sound. Our cells, our heart, our brain, our thyroid, our uterus, our organs. That's why it's called organ, because it vibrate to harmonic sound. So I was telling them like, yo, our body won't be able to take that unharmonic frequency of 5G. And they gonna kill us with 5G. They got these towers at every 200 feet. That's hazardous for the body. That's dangerous. In that order, 2 months later, they unrolled that 5G. Next thing you know, the whole world started dying. They turned that frequency on, whole world started dying. They called it COVID. They called it corona. They called it catching a virus. But the thing is, the body can literally catch a virus and get sick and whatnot when the cells is vibrating at such a rapid speed like that. If you put the body in 5G, the body cells is going to vibrate at a rapid pace to where the cells, when however fast your cells vibrate and replicate, is how fast your cells die. Your cells is not supposed to vibrate all fast and be replicating all fast. It's supposed to be slow and harmonic, like what the circadian rhythm do. But they got us in these 5G frequencies on purpose. We waking up, y'all. Okay. This is what it is. The third eye, the eye of Nut. Oh, I love it. Third eye is the internal telescope. It allows the seeker to see beyond the categories, parables, and metaphors used by patriarchs to hide the truth. This center aligns with the North Star and the circumpolar stars that was never set, symbolizing the eternal presence of the matriarchal refuge. That's all beautiful. Crown of the portal queen of heaven. The crown is the biological doorway. When the seeker's frequency meets the celestial skin and Tarseti spirituality, this center is the point of the total integration, where the DNA fully unfolds and the woman from heaven is realized within the self. Woo! Because we could see in Revelations that John is saying to an angel, I saw a great woman appear from heaven, and I was in awe. But don't nobody talk about this parable. Don't nobody talk about how whenever heaven is being referenced, it's always in reference of a woman being in the sky, or a voice of a woman, a woman, a woman, a woman, but never a man. The man is trying to secure the lower domains of the earth, whereas the woman always speaks from the sky. A 7-8. Okay, we here now. No, is this about the Star Series? Yeah, that's about the Star Series. When it say SOP deck, that's another name for the Star Series. Aligning with the your biological is remembering your lineage. Tassetti understood that this star functions as the spiritual sun and primary beacon for the Nubian bloodline. You see it. This is about our bloodline being on the Star Series and waiting for us to wake up and come home. I know y'all seen. I know y'all seen Black Panther when they flew through the firmament. They flew through that magnetic shield, and what was there waiting on them? You saw three matriarchs. You saw Angela Bassett, and you saw the other two matriarchs. When they flew through that magnetic shield, that magnetic bubble, you saw Angela Bassett and you saw the other matriarchs. What she was operating to fly through that magnetic firmament in Black Panther, what she was using to fly through that magnetic bubble was a DNA ship. A lot of people say that she was operating the ship with her mind, but she was operating the ship with her DNA. This is about the lineage, the DNA of the woman. And that's what's this literary show that's in the goddess temples, y'all, is DNA ships waiting to be activated by the black woman. Now, what's so strange is when people go in these goddess temples, nobody ever go in the hidden chambers, the secret chambers, but we all know about them. At least I do. And people that know about the goddess temples, they know that the goddess temples got secret chambers and hidden chambers and all this. Don't nobody know what's down there. But you see them pictures that I just showed you, the people the ascension on boats. So within these goddess temples, it's the literary explains to be DNA boats, just like with or DNA ships. DNA ships. Just like what you saw in Black Panther. You saw her flying through the magnetic firmament. And you saw her using her DNA, not her mind, her DNA to operate the ship. When they flew through the magnetism, you saw the three generational matriarchs. You didn't see one man waiting on them when they got back. When they flew through the magnetic bubble, the magnetic firmament, you saw magnetism. You saw black people. You saw a magnetic environment. They were showing you a magnetic environment. You saw shit levitate. You saw ascension. Vibranium is magnetic. You just saw all this magnetic symbolism because that's what we once represented as black people, magnetic symbolism. Anything magnetic is free power. That's why we don't know shit about it. That's why the earth is magnetic. We talking about a magnetic core, a magnetic terrain, a magnetic field. So why the hell is we living in a cement house? To block ourselves from the magnetism of the earth. If I had a magnetic house attached to the magnetic terrain of the earth, my house will power freely because anything magnetic gives off free power. Our earth's terrain serves as a battery, a free power generator. So what man did was go around the earth and put concrete all over that battery. So you can't build nothing magnetic and power off of it. You hear what I'm saying? If you build your house with rubies, if you build your house with emeralds, if you build your house with onyx, if you build your house with the magnetic elements that Revelations 21:19 names, it names 12 magnetic elements that we supposed to build with. We don't build with not one of them. If we build with just any one of them, our houses, our societies will power freely. This is what life is all about. That's how the women was operating free energy societies because they was building with magnetics and magnetism. We don't build with nothing magnetic. We don't even know what magnetic is. We didn't have no magnetics college course. We didn't have no magnetic high school course. We don't know how to build magnetic, and that's for a reason. It's to keep us a slave. It's to keep us under patriarchy. We only build a new earth. We only build a new world with building magnetic. That's only how. That's why in Revelation 21:19 it names those magnetic elements as the new earth foundation stones. You hear me? And Revelation 21:19 it names these elements, these magnetic elements, as the new earth foundation stones. This is what we supposed to build our earth with. Nothing else. You see how your phone is powering, your TV, your computer? All right. It got the same magnetic elements in it that we talking about to power it. And that's why it's powering. What was that? 6 or 7. So what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. And then what a time to be alive. Okay, DNA activation. Right there playing with the frequencies. Right, they playing with the frequencies. Hell yeah, they playing with the frequencies. But shit, no more than what you say. They knew what they was doing because the corona was symbolic of being crowned with coronation. Yeah, your corona is your aura. You can look that up. It's your light, it's your magnetism. They basically was attacking your magnetism. They didn't want you to absorb it. They was transducing it into 5G. They was stealing the magnetism of the earth and transducing it, converting it to 5G. They like, okay, we on 4G right now. The magnetism of the earth finna raise. Okay, if the magnetism of the earth finna raise, that means we gotta raise our frequency. But they raise their frequency by converting, hear what I'm saying? Converting and transducing the natural sound wave of the earth into a man-made frequency, a man-made 5G. So they take the harmonic sound of the earth and then change it, transduce it to some other shit. And they was able to do that because the harmonics, the magnetism of the earth is rising. But it has to rise because mother is trying to wake her children up. And this is about sound and frequency. Sound is frequency or harmonic sound. Y'all reading that? Y'all getting that? I can't wait to post up on a computer to where, you know what I'm saying, I can read these slides separate. I can't read them because of the comments and because of what's at the top. So I can only let y'all read them. But these is different slides than the slides we was just looking at on TikTok. I just changed the slide. This is not a metaphor. It is an inundation of blood, a cleansing of the refreshing of the biological trees. Say that then. This is for people seeking their lineage. It's beyond the stars. It's beyond the sky. We the skywalkers. Huh? We the skywalkers. What they call melanin, aka carbon. We can do whatever. We can go wherever. Black women already conquered and traversed the entire universe and left coordinates for it. What they call tombs is repositories of coordinates of the universe. What they call tombs is repositories of coordinates, map coordinates, highway coordinates, routes, avenues, streets of the Milky Way and the firmament. We let the patriarchs redefine what our matriarchal chapels and our matriarchal temples was. The patriarchs came and labeled these chapels and temples tombs. The tomb is the womb. And the womb is a repository of information. And the womb is a repository of information. Y'all ready to change the slide? Alright. Let's change it. Exactly. They try to lower the frequencies by having us in fear. Yup, they did. Try to lower the frequencies by having us in fear. That lowers our frequency too. Okay, what we at? That look like maybe 6 or 7. Okay, I see what we at. It should be right here. Get that. Turn this light up for y'all. I'm tripping. Also, get that. Get that. Framework. Penetration, go to firmament. Reaches. I hope y'all can see that. It acts as a biological master key. Ugh. In the matriarchal Kushite tradition, these are not abstract concepts but light codes. You see it? Everybody that's in here, go out and get somebody and come back in. Go tag somebody. Tag somebody while you reading. Tell them you just came across information that ain't nowhere on earth and ain't gonna be nowhere on earth. This is real matriarchal information. And that ain't me being no type of way, but I've been really trying to share this information with Rod Hayes, Marisha Stone, everybody that call themselves matriarchs, and they want to hold subject matters about nothing. They want to talk about nothing just so they can be seen and heard. So yeah, the patriarchy falling is also the frauds being exposed too. God damn it. All veils will be unveiled. And that go for you frauds too. Don't want the people to have it so they can look at you. Alright, let's change. Y'all screenshot, y'all read, y'all got. Alright, let's go. Bow. Oh no, that's loud, my bad. When I start this channel, we're gonna read them together. Do some one-on-one thorough breakdowns. I noticed that too. They not on the same frequency, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? I could never knock nobody for not being on my frequency. You feel me? I ain't even that type of dude. But when I've been trying to raise your frequency and you identify as a matriarch, and I've been giving you this information and giving you this information, and you just discard it only to because you don't want to study and you don't want to look up the parables and the allegories and all that because you don't feel like you got time to do it because you got to get back online. Come on, man. What is that? That's vain as hell. Get that out of here. So, a lot of people ain't on the same frequency. That's shit. The majority ain't. That's cool. But what's not cool is to keep other people's frequency low. When you an educator, if you are educator, this information been brought to you, shame on you. It ain't about you not being on the same frequency then, because it was brought to you. And you wasn't given no timeline or nothing. Don't y'all know I've been sharing information like this with Arisha Stone since August last year? Don't y'all know I've been sharing information like this with Rod Hayes since August last year? Been trying to share this with these people since August. I'm just now saying something in May. This is my first time saying something in this month. So I've been real about the shit. I've been patient. I wasn't quick to run to the internet. I could have said something September, October, November. I've been told them about the goddess temples. I've been told and showed them the maps. And they sitting up here talking to y'all about race wars and Ogon. Fuck Ogon. Ogon killed black women. I told them that in August 2025. They still talking Ogon and race wars and white versus black. Who cares about that divide and conquer shit when you got this literary right here? You got these maps, these goddesses, and all these countless matriarchs. I can get on y'all ass and hold y'all accountable because y'all identify as spiritual educators and teachers and matriarchs. I'm not talking about just anybody. That shit is sickening. That shit is deplorable. I'm gonna hold y'all accountable. Y'all done made me the chief. Y'all done made me the godfather of matriarchal information. And I wasn't even on that. I didn't even want this. I wanted the background. Y'all got that? All right, let's change the slide. What's that? 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Still like 1 and 2. Anytime I change the slides, y'all should be screenshotting. Anytime I change the slide, y'all should be screenshotting. Who said it? New to heaven. New to heaven. Yeah. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. We showing what heaven is on earth. Who would have thought? Who would have knew? We let the patriarchs tell us what heaven is. Heaven is just matriarchal refuge. Heaven is just a matriarch. If we had matriarchs here on earth, on the 6 continents, it'd be heaven. If we had any matriarchs. But we ain't got no matriarchs. So we got hell. When patriarchy start to rise, the first capital of patriarchy, the very first capital, very first city with men ruled was called Heliopolis. Hell for short. We talking about the days of Alexander the Greek, Augustus Caesar, and Ptolemy Serapis. All 3 of these men warred against our Nubian ancestors, and they changed our literary, and they the ones who redefined our literary. They the ones who hid all this from y'all. Alexander the Greek, Ptolemy Soter, and Augustus Caesar. They the ones who hid this information. They the ones who warred against our black Nubian ancestors. Women. I can't even really say ancestors because it was women. All right, let's change. That was 12. I think we should be right here. That's sorry. Time to unlock. Facts. The war in heaven. So what it's doing is breaking down these parables. You know, Tiamat, you got to be familiar with Tiamat, the war between Marduk and Tiamat. That's in the first Bible. The war between fucking Adam and Eve, the woman and the dragon. We got to understand that these parables is gender war stories, the man versus the woman, patriarchy versus matriarchy. And as a result, men hit women's maps to the firmament. Life is about patriarchy versus matriarchy. Life is about gender wars. Whatever movie you watching, now look at that movie through the lens of matriarchy versus patriarchy. One of my favorite movies that I recently watched, maybe like a year or two ago, that got strong symbolism of patriarchy versus matriarchy, it's really 90% of movies that got gender wars in it. When I say 90%, I mean a large 90%. All the cartoons, all the everything got gender wars in it. But Mad Max 1 and 2 is a very strong gender war parable story, and it's showing you the main character is Charlie Theron. You wouldn't even be able to name the other characters. They represent patriarchy, misogynistic, and just animalistic men. And the men is that their only real value is the woman because the woman is the egg. The woman is the progenitor. Their only value is the woman, but the woman only thing in the movie is to try to get the fuck out of patriarchy, trying to get away from the men. So Charlize Theron, she come along with like 6 or 7 other women she come across, and they whole thing is to make it to the outer boundaries of the earth, to heaven, to the elders, to the great mothers. And that's what we supposed to do. Make it to the outer edges, the outer circumferences of the earth to the great mothers. It's right there in the movie. It's in all the movies. You got the Truman Show. You got anything you could think of and name. Suicide Squad. I don't care. Godzilla. I don't care what you name. The Kingsman 1, 2, and 3. I don't care what you name. It's right there in our face. They literally telling us a story of man versus woman. We just trying to look at it from like good versus evil, or something like that. All right, y'all got that? All right, let's change. Let's change. Oh, okay. Was this the slide we was just on? Yeah, I think that's the slide we was just on. Okay, cool. That was just a mic check. Okay, if that was the slide, then this should be. Of course. Y'all probably could see some things up in there. You probably can't. Okay. Dream state communication with your matriarchal. You must view the dream world not as a fantasy, but as a fluid dimension of the skin. Along with biological boundaries, softening the civil cord of your DNA is most visible in the Kushite and Top Age tradition. This is where the secret meets the Ankh, those who shine as celestial beacons. Preparing the terrestrial arc before entering the dream, establish your physical space, body to ground, conduct the medium, serious star bringing. Okay, it's trying to basically tell you how to tap into, speak to the ancestors. Let's see what we got here. To sound the words, do not use the word separation. Instead, invitation, Kushite queens, maternal beacons. You see it. Let y'all read that. That's our little one. Y'all got that in y'all system? All right. So, what book is this, King? This is literary context breakdown of the melodic script. What I did was I deciphered the Nubian language. That's what I'm sharing with y'all. The Nubian language is undeciphered. The Nubian language was left by black women, and the Nubian language entails how the firmament is matriarchal refuge. I decoded the Nubian language like maybe 6 months ago, 5 months ago, back in December. But that's what this is. You won't get this out of a book. You won't get this from nowhere other than the melodic script, the Nubian melodic script. That's where I get this from, nowhere else. And that's a futuristic language that's very simplistic. You wouldn't believe how simplistic it is. You wouldn't believe how easy it is to decipher this language. These women didn't make it like it was just so hard to crack this language. So what the language talking about now is the parables in the holy books and how the parables lead to the lineage, the biology of the woman. And the biology of the woman lead beyond the stars. Sound crazy, I know, it's because our perception of reality has been shaped and molded already about the stars. We think the stars is gas, and we think that the sky is what it is because they taught us the sun and everything. But we got to reshape our definitions of reality. Everything. From what the sun really is to what the moon really is, the sky really is. We got to change everything. Because if they lie to us about one thing, they lie to us about all things. All this information is pertaining to the sky. This is where we get sky mother, sky goddess. They was trying to tell us that the lineage of women is beyond the sky. As above, so below. The lineage of men is below, and the lineage of women is beyond, up and beyond. The earth ascends and expands, and it don't stop. This is your work. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I can never claim credibility, accountability for this. I never do. I never do. For the people that follow my Women Make Heaven Instagram, I'm shut out my Instagram because I went live with y'all and I shared this. I cannot log back into my Instagram. They logged me out. They shut me out. They shut me down. This is not my work. I got a lot of work on Instagram, but this is not my work. This is the Nubian women work and our Nubian ancestors, our Nubian foremothers. And I'm just here to get y'all the information, remind y'all, I didn't make this up. I didn't come up with this. If anything, I might have decoded, deciphered the Nubian language. I might have did that much, but nah, this ain't my work. Yeah, the waters above. That's what this is all about, the waters above. And that's why the holy books, quote unquote, holy books, start off with the waters above, separating from the waters below. This is a parable of as above, so below. Civilizations of women above, civilizations of men below. So we got to make it beyond these ascensions of the earth. This is why the pinnacle and peak of religion is essential. This is why the pinnacle and peak of religion is ascension. Okay. Think. Clicked on this one. Dark conductor medium. Okay, let's go to this next one. Nope, that ain't the one I was trying to click on. 1 second, y'all. Nope, that ain't working either. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Screenshot. 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 Share with a friend. So we can get this earth back to black women. And they can make heaven on earth. And they can lead these spiritual journeys. If I could have did it, I'd have did it myself. I guess I can't do it. I need the matriarch. Get this earth back to the black woman so she can open this goddamn portals up. She can open the door. We get the fuck out of patriarch. We get out this bullshit. Everybody working out of conformity. Everybody tired. Everybody want more in life. Know it's more to life. Get this earth back to the black women. Black men, what's up? Stand up. What's up? What's up with the what's up? Get this earth back to the black women so they can open this bitch up. Everybody talking about they're a matriarch. I'm trying to give you the keys to be a matriarch. But y'all stuck on Ogon, Orishas. The Orishas? The Orishas is patriarchal. Y'all stuck on these African cultures and shit that's still patriarchal. Where you see Orisha at up in here? Where you see Ogon? Y'all read Ogon one time? Y'all read Oshun? Y'all read Orisha? Y'all read any of these goddamn matriarchs? Hell no. Activate the mitochondrial clock. This is all about the mitochondrial DNA. This is all about the mitochondrial DNA. If we want to make it beyond that firmament, this is all about the mitochondrial DNA. Black woman waking up and restoring the balance of the earth. The black woman got to lead the way. Ain't no black man gonna lead the way. Where you see balance at? Where you see duality at? Y'all see balance? Y'all see yin and yang anywhere? Or do y'all see mitochondrial DNA? Huh? Y'all see masculine? Y'all see divine masculine anywhere? I gotta fight with these matriarchs because they want to have a divine masculine. The real matriarchs ain't had no divine masculine. I can't sell out to that. I can't sell out to that. Rod Hayes, Arisha, Chief Stone, goddamn Chief. We can sell out to some bullshit. Talking about some damn Hannibal. Where Hannibal name at? Fuck. Gate guards. I'm addressing all the gate guards. You a gate guard. Y'all could have been shared this information with the people. Y'all ought to be a fucking shame. On some look at me shit. Y'all got that? Alright. We finna change. Exactly. They are the sons of the mother. Masons. Yeah, my sons. Alright. We got that. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Activating clock. We should be right here then. So I gotta let y'all read it for what it is, cause it's so hard for me to see what's going on, cause it's so much over the screen. I wish I could read to y'all so I could give y'all a better, thorough breakdown and explanation, but don't trip because this is just one day out of many. We gonna go over this again. We gonna do the breakdown, but for now, I just need y'all to get what y'all can get because they shutting my page down. They shut my shit down. So I don't know what they're gonna do right here on YouTube. I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna see if they let me post this, but that ain't no guarantee. So that's why I'm like, yo, screenshot, get somebody and come back in. That's why I'm saying it like that. But this definitely ain't the last time you're gonna see or hear from me. So we got about 8,000 screenshots of this to show. We probably on screenshot maybe, I don't know, 20, but we got about 8,000. Ain't count, probably more. It was 8,000 back in February. Shit, it's May. So we really got more than 8,000. We got so much to uncover about this mitochondrial DNA and about these goddesses and magnetics and magnetism, y'all. The goddess temples and everything, the symbolism. It's some beautiful symbolism, y'all. Some real beautiful symbolism. Okay, y'all got that. I knew y'all wasn't gonna be able to see that. That's crazy. Let's go here and see what they talk about on this one. You see it. DNA of the stars. So ain't none of our spiritual conscious leaders, the 19 Keys, the Phil Valentines, the Anthony Browders, none of them is looking for this. So none of them can share it with you because nobody is looking for the matriarchs. Nobody is looking for what the matriarch said. Nobody. They going off all this Greek philosophy and German and Latin. It's highly disturbing. Ain't nobody looking into the Nubian queens, the African queens. Nobody talk about the African continent queens. What is up with that conscious community? Matriarchal community? Is y'all all agents? What the hell is going on? This shit is disturbing. If I could show y'all these names of Taseti, Kerma, Nakwita, if I could show y'all all these names in these slides that's references to what I'm showing. If I could show y'all the names of these places, what in the hell is the conscious community doing if we ain't never heard of these names of these places on the African continent? We ain't never heard of Taseti. We might have heard of the Nile Valley, but we ain't heard no information on it. We ain't heard of Napata, Nakwita. We ain't heard of Napta Playa. We ain't heard of none of these places. Y'all don't even talk about the Neolithic and the Paleolithic age. What is going on? What the hell is going on? The hell? And for the last 3 years, when y'all been asked why y'all don't do it, y'all still don't do it. All right. We're finna go to the next slide. Wow. That's dragon, but Matriarchs. No. Hey. You having fun? All right, we're gonna change the slide, y'all. Y'all got that? I'm gonna get lectures on this song. Tiamat and the Great Mother Dragon. Yeah, they turned the Great Mother to a dragon. You know why? Because that dragon represents your double X helix. That serpent represents your double X helix. You hear me? That represent this biological that we talking about. That serpent is your biological. It's a biological symbol. Whenever we saw the woman, or whenever we saw with the snake on the symbol, on the forehead, on the pineal gland, this was a logo of matriarchy. So whenever people saw that snake, they knew that was team matriarchy. That's gang gang. That's gang matriarchy. That was a symbolism for matriarchy. The cow, the golden calf, that was a symbolism of matriarchy. So whenever people saw these animals, these symbols, they knew, okay, that person is affiliated with the matriarch. But we don't let the patriarchs come and define and tell us, oh, that was evil, that was pagan. And it makes sense because those was the ops. The Chicago Bull logo is a bull. So whenever you see the Chicago Bull jersey, you know that that bull identifies that as Chicago, the team Chicago. It's the same with matriarchy. whenever they saw the snake, the patriarch saw the snake, they knew that was team matriarchy. So that's the ops. So since that's the ops, we got to get an ops a bad name. Those pagans, those idols, don't follow the trail of the golden calf. Don't follow the trail of the snake. That's the snake speaking to Eve in the garden. The snake represents the matriarchy. That was a symbol for matriarchy. So when they say the snake spoke to Eve in the garden, they saying the matriarch spoke to Eve in the garden. This is a matriarchal versus patriarchal world we living in. These is parables. This is about patriarchy versus matriarchy. Yes, the real heifer. Hathor. Hathor. When they said don't worship the golden calf, they was talking about Hathor. And Hathor goddess temples lead to these maps. Hathor goddess temple is a map of the firmament. So don't go worship the golden calf. But the key thing, the key takeaway from that is I mentioned the golden calf. I told you about the golden calf. So you were supposed to go look into the golden calf. Yeah, I said that these people was Jezebels, harlots, prostitutes, beasts, witches, but you still was pagans, idols, but you still was supposed to go get their side of the story. Yeah, I told you the golden calf was an idol, but you still supposed to go see what that side of the story had to say. When you go look at that side of the story, and you go see what they were saying, the matriarch saying, they said that this is the trail home, the trail to matriarchy, the trail beyond the firmament. Moses' people going to worship the golden calf was Moses' people going to worship Hathor. Hathor is the golden calf, and it's right in our face. What's up, matriarchal educators? What the hell is y'all talking about? Y'all still talking about Mary. It wasn't a such thing of a Mary. It wasn't a such thing of a Jesus, of course. But it definitely wasn't no such thing of a Mary. Mary replaced Mayat. So why ain't y'all leaders and why ain't y'all conscious people, especially you black women, talking about Mayat? Y'all talking about Mary. Who the hell is Mary? You mean Mayat? Who in the hell is Mary? That's a patriarchal rebrand story. Mary was powerless. Aphrodite, powerless. Cleopatra, powerless. They was on the side of patriarchy. The patriarchs need a matriarch too. They need an egg too. They need somebody to give life, the progenitor too. So yes, the patriarchs did have quote unquote matriarchs on their side, but these wasn't matriarchs. These was just women that was for the patriarch that replaced the matriarchs. They made these replacements. Nike, Aphrodite, uh, uh, everybody had his name. These is replacements. I've been telling y'all this for some time, and then I get on y'all page a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, a year later, y'all still stand. Oh my God, this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm so bothered. All right, it's time to change the slide, y'all. My bad. My bad. I know y'all done read all that by now. My bad. Here we go. Cause shit, look like y'all trying to be in here trying to be strong. What this comment say? Women should be ruling, making laws. Yes. They pervert everything. Is it possible patriarchy has already been perverted? That's why I think there's some truth of what Rod said. What Rod said about what? Some truth about what did Rod say? That patriarchy been perverted? We are I'm confused. Facts, when Moses went to the mountain, he saw the great mother, yeah, the burning bush, that vagina, that pussy, the burning bush. He saw the great mother, the burning bush, the parable. Another parable. Ain't no man got no bush. Ain't no man got no bush. God. Exactly. We are the new lawmakers, men supposed to enforce the laws we create. Yeah, that's true. I'll let that one slide. But what do you agree with what Rod Hayes say? Cause everybody that jump in my inbox that come from over from that side, They say they don't agree with nothing he say. And I'm just saying it for what it is. I swear to God. This dude talk the Anunnaki. This dude talk everything that's not matriarchal. And I could fire his ass down like this because the people been trying to bring me to that fold, to that circle since before August last year. And Rod Hayes and other people didn't want me to come into the fold of the circle because I know more than them. And they want the spotlight to themselves. I obviously know more than them. And they was trying to keep the spotlight to themselves. Them people over at the Research Stone Network said put me at the bottom of the list. So they wanted this information put last. Yeah, okay. The patriarch has a correct place in a matriarch. No. No. Hell no. The matriarchs ain't never have a patriarch. When you look at the ants and the birds and the bees, especially, let's go with the queen bee. I always use this as an analogy. Where you see a patriarchal system at, where you see a anything at, where you see a anything at, you see the queen run that shit. You always see the queen run shit. The queen run shit. There's no patriarchy within a matriarchy. We never have seen that. So we can't make these things up. And that's my issue with people like Rod Hayes. We can't make up chiefs. We can't make up a position just to have a position, just to have a voice, just to be heard. But what about me? What about men? What about men? These motherfuckers is trying to make a divine masculine. There was no such thing. Now, I'm not saying we can't make that ourselves, create that ourselves, be divine masculine. I'm just sticking to the correct teachings and principles. There was no such thing. So who the hell am I to teach that it was? Let's teach, let's create how to make divine masculines. But we can't push no narrative like it was divine masculines because it wasn't. Who? Who can we name? What matriarch had divine masculine? And that's my only thing. My only thing is the correct teachings. That's it. That's all. Think we getting terms confused. I agree for sure. Okay, that's what's up. Y'all got that up in y'all. Y'all read that? Y'all screenshot it. It should say something about the ambiotic fluids up in some of this too. But yeah, it get real analytical, get real technical. It make you be like, damn, get that in y'all. Go that golden calf again. Get them parables. What that shit really mean? Because don't none of us know what these allegories and parables mean in full context, but we just know that they allegories and parables. But we don't know what the hell they mean. But no, we don't need no matriarch, and we don't need no patriarchy inside no matriarchy. We don't need that at all. You know what that's called? That's called a secret society. And that's what men did. Men created a secret society within the matriarchy, slowly but surely stealing the magnetic secrets and the magnetic keys from the woman. It's what you call a secret society. That's what you call a brotherhood. It's what you call a cult. We don't want that no more. The woman represented even balance on her own. The woman is even balance. She don't need no damn protector. She don't need no helpmate. She don't even need nobody to procreate with. That's what's crazy. Human parthenogenesis. Asexual being. If she feel the magnetism of the earth, she got a million and millions of eggs up in her to where she can procreate life on her own. So can the birds. So can the bees. So can the cow. That's why these women intertwine and interwove their symbolism with them. That's where we get the golden cow from. The golden calf is the golden calf because it can procreate on its own. It don't need a man. It don't need a consort. That's how men forced themselves into the cosmology and creation stories by saying that women needed a consort, but women never needed a consort. This is what made them fertility goddesses. You hear me? This is what made them goddesses. This is what make you God. The fact that you don't need a procreator. That's what make you God. The woman is the egg. She got the egg and the semen. She's a womb man. She's both. She don't need no semen. She got the semen. That's why she a womb man. She got estrogen and semen in her. That double X chromosome represent estrogen and semen. You hear me? So this is how men force themselves into the cosmology and the creation stories in reverence to be worshipped. They knew what it took to be worshipped. Creation, creation, creation. But they don't have birthing aspects. This is why nature is called mother, because nature births. This is why earth is called mother, because the earth births, give birth to things. This is what makes you a great mother, to give birth to things. Men can't do that shit. So what about a man as God? The woman got the means and means and means of eggs. That what you looking at the top up there, that is pictures of the firmament. You see them going in the pussy. You don't see dick nowhere. You see vagina. They going into the womb. They going into the firmament. They going into the centers of the earth. And the centers of the earth is represented as a womb. That's deep. Nothing about this symbolism of cosmology got a duality to it. They going into the firmament, y'all. They going into the firmament, y'all. You don't see a man nowhere. And that mean a great deal. All right. Y'all got that. Let's change slide. Anybody got any questions? Thought I said something at the bottom of the screen. Let me go down here. My bad. Exactly, they became jealous of her power. Hell yeah, they became jealous. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Yeah. Hell yeah. And it started with the Black Phoenician man. They consulted all together and to take the mother out, to hide her maps of the firmament. They felt like shit, if we could hide her maps to the firmament, then we can enclose and encase these people in. We can lock these people in on these 6 continents. We just won't tell them about the firmament. We'll let them figure it out for themselves. This shit is all about our perception of reality. The veil or the veil is what's over our eyes, is our perception. How Revelation say, the veils will be lifted, the veils will be lifted. The veil to be lifted is the veil over our perception of reality. Because our entire perception of reality has been given to us by patriarchal men to have distorted lenses. So now you talking motherfucker about the stars or the mother, the great one, shit, they instantly cast it out without even investigating. Condemnation without investigating. They instantly cast it out. They instantly say, "Oh, couldn't no woman woo 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 woo." Oh, that ain't true. Cause couldn't no woman lead no army? Couldn't no woman beat men at war? Couldn't no woman have babies? Women can't have babies without men. You see that? Your perception of reality is already molded and shaped. You saying this shit and you ain't even looked it up to know. So how is your perception already made? Do you know if a woman can have a baby without her? Do you know if women existed before men that was ruling the earth? So if you don't know about matriarchs, if you don't know, what is you saying? What are you speaking of? So many men to tell you, oh, that woman couldn't do that. She didn't do that. Women ain't do that. Women needed men to do that. Ain't no woman won no war. Shit. Yes, they did. You. 'Cause. 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 'C These Candaces is the gatekeepers of the firmament. They the gatekeepers of magnetics and magnetism, free energy. They the gatekeepers of all this. We just gotta make it to them gates. We just gotta make it to them firmament gates. That's what we gotta do, and they gonna take it from there. That's what the literaries say. Literaries say, y'all get here, and we got it from there. Don't worry about nothing else. We got you. So all we gotta do is ascend, and we ascend by going into goddess temples. We ascend by going to the mountains. We ascend by going beyond Antarctica. We got to get off our ass, get the wind beneath our feet, and go. That's what we got to do. It's all about the lineage of the black woman, y'all. So I'm humbled to be here with y'all, sharing this information with y'all. I only hope y'all run until the next 2020 vision. The Woman King tells this story. I know, right? I wanted to make that movie before it came out. I was jealous as hell when that movie came out. Oh, I was so jealous because I had already wrote that script. I write scripts. I write movie scripts. I just had a director and a producer in my living room interviewing me. Swear to God. So I wrote that movie before it came out. Queen of Minerals, that was Queen of Minerals, who I just showed you. They give you the truth. I just showed you Queen of Minerals. I just put their name for you. That's who that movie was about. That's what they talking about. The Candaces, the Queen Candaces. Warrior women. So, we also had the woman king Hatshepsut. Queen Hatshepsut. Queen Hatshepsut. Shit, they called her a king. She was a king. She was a woman king too. Quite a few woman kings that they told us about in history as pharaohs. I don't know damn pharaohs. Those were women running shit, ruling shit. Okay, what was that? Protocols. Let's go here. Business. When you look at the night sky, do you feel the pull of the Pleiades? These is other women parables, the Pleiades. I was delighted to find out that story was really real. Of course it was real. They made it to a myth. Of course it was real. And the Pleiades, it's all about the stars, y'all. It's all about the lineage of the women leading beyond the stars. That's what the Pleiades and all that bullshit. That's what all that shit, all this right in our face. Sky Mother, Sky Goddess. It's about the blood lineage of the woman, her civilizations leading beyond the stars. So I love to see a star civilization. I love to see if we built our homes with magnetic elements down here on Earth, if we built our homes with nickel, ruby, pearls, all that type of stuff, and we went up to the sky and we looked down, when we look down, our homes, our streets, and everything will look like a star too. If we built like how we were supposed to build on Earth with magnetic elements, when we went up to the sky and looked down, we'll see a star too. You hear me? If I just built my entire neighborhood with nickel, amethyst, like I'm supposed to do, and I went 100,000 feet up and I looked down, what I would see is a star. So many men got mad at that movie. Well, I ain't one of them. I love that movie. I love that movie. I wanted to put that movie on my damn self. So if I was mad, it was in the jealous sense of how I couldn't put it out. Okay, I'm change that slide since that slide ain't really seeable. Screenshot that. I don't know who else gonna get y'all that picture right there. I don't know where else y'all gonna get that picture. What is literary? I say that shit humbly. But I really don't, because I've been on the internet for a minute, about 3 years. And I've been trying for y'all, man. I've really been trying. But people got their own narratives that they want to push. You see it selling the firmament. You see the boats up under their feet. They meeting the goddess. You see them? You see them meeting the goddess? Isis. Not Aphrodite. Not Cleopatra. Real African goddess. You see it? You don't see no divine masculine standing next to her. You don't see no dude nowhere. You see her by herself, dolo. And they at the ascensions of the earth. I'll show you the whole entire picture. You'll see that they on top of the earth. They at the ascensions of the earth. Oh, and yeah. You see how they got what that say? Astronomical ceiling, the barrier chamber of SETI. What they did was, I told you, they turned the tomb into the womb. This was not a barrier chamber. It was a repository. They buried it themselves. They made it a barrier chamber. They buried this information. They buried this truth. But initially, this was never called a barrier chamber. Them people was not burying themselves or mummifying themselves. Them people was, they left the mummies and in the repositories with all the map coordinates to show you this is biological. This is coordinates routes. Your biological correlate with these coordinates routes. Your biological lead to these coordinates routes beyond the galaxy, beyond the firmament, beyond the star Sirius, beyond the star Orion, the Milky Way. So whenever you see them like mummified, so to say, that was DNA symbolism for you to remember, you to see that quote unquote mummy and think, okay, DNA, and then you see all these maps with all these stars, like, oh, okay, my DNA lead back to the stars. My lineage leads back to the stars. Our matriarchal ancestors, our matriarchal grandmothers. Y'all see that? Alright, let y'all read. I look like I found the easier way to transition from the slides. So it looked like we in there. I could just easily go from slide to slide now. Let y'all read that for what that is, because I still can't see. I got a lot of stuff in the way. Any questions? Any comments? Let me get out the way. Yeah, 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 yeah. You see it. All right, it's time to put it back on the charger. So we on down, y'all. Okay, all ready? I got that. Let y'all get that. I'll change it in a second. I wish I would have kept it like that. Okay, cool. Advance from Emperor. Yeah. Change this slide in 1 second. All right, you got that. Let's go here. Firmament unlocked. Where's the water supply? Yeah. Get that and share it with somebody. Are y'all ready to go to the next slide? Let's go to the next slide. Gotta go. I'll catch you next slide, fam. Okay, I'll catch you next time. My thanks for tapping in. So get your screenshot on. See, they did not experience death. You see it? These women did not experience death. Oh my God. What you mean they didn't experience death? What you mean they didn't experience death? Because that firmament is a magnetic abode. Y'all got that? All right, let's go to the next slide. I know there's some profound literary. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but believe it. Believe it. Believe it. You believe the patriarchs for so long. We believed them when they told us we had to go to heaven. We believe that bullshit. Knowing it's from the same people that kidnapped us. Knowing it's from the same people that colonized us. We let these people give us our definition of our spirituality. We let these people tell us we had to die to go to heaven. That's what we let these men tell us. But being that we waking up to patriarchy, now we can put the story together because we waking up to matriarchy. Patriarchy and matriarchy is two heads of the same coin. Only matriarchs existed first, and then the patriarchs came and erased their history. But the whole ploy of erasing black women history was to hide the maps to the firmament. And these people that you see highlighted at the top, Nubia, Tansedi, Kemet, Kush, they are the black women that left the maps to the firmament. So whenever somebody want to be quick to say, that ain't true, woo, 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 where you get that and all that woo, 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 there you go right there. I dare somebody say them women wasn't true. You know why I dare somebody say them women wasn't true? Because don't nobody even talk about them. How can you say this literary ain't true if don't nobody even talk about these, but don't nobody even know about these women? So nobody could contest, combat, debate. Why would you even want to? I'm sure there's some people out there, but they got the wrong one coming this way. Oh, they got the wrong one. See the highlights? Female-centric magnetic energy led to a hidden era. You only get this intel, you only get this breakdown when you decode the Nubian language. So that's why you don't hear nobody talking about the Nubian language. That's why you don't hear nobody talking about the Nubians. We hear the word Nubia. Shit. Nobody talk about it. Nobody. I find that to be so damn disturbing. What's up? What Elish? Elise. What's up, Elise? I see you saying hot. Say hot back. Okay, y'all ready? Wow, let's go. Firmament is described not as a solid atmosphere ceiling, but as a physical floor, a terraformable landscape, a magnetic continent designed for refuge. That's pretty profound to say. I think we read this slide. I think I'm back. Okay, I see what's going on. I'm back in the original slides that we had already showed. I thought it had me in the folder. I was wondering what was going on. I thought it had me in the folder. Okay, there we go. That go a different slide. My bad, y'all. Y'all was saying, y'all was talking. Y'all got quiet. I showed y'all the last 2-3 slides. My bad. I thought they looked familiar. They look different. Yeah. It's all about you. What that say? I can't read the top. So when it's giving you the breakdown, you'll see that it's referencing who the source is. And the source is going to always be the Nile Valley or Taseti or Kush, like what you see highlighted. Alright. Oh, we got next. Oh, why they got this like this? Ultimate unveiling. It is the realization that the physical and the spiritual are not two different places, but two different speeds of light. When the seeker accelerates their internal vibration through the love and wisdom of the mother, they walk through the shield as if walking through a mist, entering the internal presence of the great source. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Taseti, Auden. So y'all just got some grade A literary. That was dope being in here with y'all. I'm gonna come back in, turn y'all notification button on. I'm gonna see how I can sequence things a little better than where I can sit down and talk with y'all one-on-one, and we can dig into this some more. Cause this just scratching the surface. There's still a lot more to show. So if y'all want it, I got it for you. So this Women Make Heaven at Women Make Heaven on Instagram. Tell the people I can't get into my Instagram. Go on my message and comment and say something for me. He can't get into his Instagram. Say something for me. Nah. But we gonna go live here on YouTube, and we gonna run these numbers up. We gonna get to 1,000 subscribers so we can advertise and promote. Anybody that watched that video, it would be dope if you subscribe. But if you don't, hey, it's still all love. If we try to get to 1,000 subscribers, hell yeah. So we can get this message out there more. You can only advertise and promote on these platforms if you got a certain amount of subscribers or followers. So I need y'all to hit that subscribe, and I need y'all to share it. But if y'all don't, it's still all love. I ain't tripping on that. You want to get this message out? Help me get this message out. But all right, I'm finna close out. Fortunately, I got some activities, some duties to adhere to, get done, whatnot. I'm gonna tap in with y'all some more, maybe even tonight. Nonetheless, tomorrow, like I said, be on the lookout, turn the notification on, and we gonna do this. Much love.